How would the G4 of My Little Pony be if Sunset Shimmer was the princess of friendship? There will be a bonus at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie and get ready because I thought of every detail of how it would be if Sunset Shimmer never ran away from Equestria to go to Canterlot High. But for we to understand it better, we need to take a quick recap of the reasons why Sunset left Equestria. She was a unicorn as powerful as Twilight in the first season. Sunset was also Celestia's pupil, but she had a big flaw: lust for power and magic all the time, always questioning the royal princesses when she teaches the pony powerful spells and magic. And when Celestia gave Sunset that scolding, saying that what she seeks couldn't be learned but earned instead, she got really mad and jumped inside the crystal mirror, leaving Equestria to conquer the world and dominate the humans. The question now is, what if she didn't do that? For starters, Sunset wouldn't have jumped inside the crystal mirror. Instead, she would ask Celestia for some sort of test, so she could prove once and for all that she could learn and conquer new types of magic. Celestia then would make she had the dragon egg, and this would be Spike's egg, that Twilight couldn't hatch when she was little, since she was too far inexperienced with magic, contrasting with Shimmer. And in this timeline, the Sonic Rainbow never happened, and Twilight remained a regular unicorn. And as Sunset at this time already was Celestia's apprentice, hatching that egg wasn't a hard task for her, since she had already made a seed sprout into a hug tree in a blink of an eye. And this makes Celestia realize that she was ready to know the most powerful magic of all time, the friendship magic. And since she was such a proud and stingy, Sunset would laugh at Celestia's face, asking if that was some sort of joke. And Celestia would deny that. Probably Sunset Shimmer would think, well, this is the most powerful magic of all. It's worth a shot, right? And then we would proceed to see the new phase of My Little Pony with a selfish pony having to learn about the value of friendship. Ironic, huh? But one thing has to be said. With Sonic Rainbow never happening, the main six would never meet, and their cutie marks probably would be different than the current ones. Or they would be the same, but with not so happy outcomes, like we saw in the 5th season. In this, two things could happen. Sunset Shimmer would meet the main 5 either way, since some sort of destiny thing would play and some sort of Sunset Shimmer's mission would be to befriend each one of them. Rainbow Dash would be super mean to her and try to face with her all the time. Pinkie Pie would be the most depressive one in the group and sometimes would freak out, which would make Sunset lose her temper with her. Fluttershy would be the same shy and modest pony that she was before. Rarity would be a middle-class worker frustrated with fashion because she never had enough inspiration to pursue this career. I think the most normal pony of the group would be probably the element of honesty, meaning more peace days for Sunset that was so bored with the friendship stuff, wanting power and more power. The second possibility would be Sunset meeting totally new ponies, meaning new characters, since the main 6 have totally different lives in this universe. They could even change to another place other than Equestria. But then, who would be the new Sunset's friends? Marble Pie, Trixie, Big Macintosh, Shining Armor? Leave your opinion down in the comments because I would love to know which ponies Sunset would choose to be friends. So, whatever her friends would be, the fact is that these would be the new main 6. Now let's picture this. Twilight, which is a normal unicorn, would continue to be a very delicate pony, but with a little bit repressive and arrogant, like Moon Dancer. She would have warned Sunset and the others about Nightmare Moon, but would have been repressed and ignored by Sunset and the others, making Twilight even more retracted on her own. With the time passing, Sunset would find out that each of her new friends are elements of harmony, and that she is the element of magic, and they would defeat Nightmare Moon. And before you guys start commenting that the element of magic already had the same cutie mark as Twilight, I have only one thing to say: destiny. I mean that in this universe, the element of magic would have Sunset's cutie mark, a sun, but it would also be a lot like Celestia's mark. And this, by my understanding, could be a huge indicate about Sunset's destiny, the one that she would be destined to spend all her life on, get it? To sum it up, the Tree of Harmony would have reshaped in favor of the next element, so much that the other ones were just square shapes that took the form of the main 6 cutie marks later. In short, with Luna going back to normal, Celestia would thank Sunset and and she would feel that bringing Celestia's sisters back was a good thing. But she would still have a lot to change, and still would have a lot to work to do, mainly towards Twilight Sparkle, who would possibly become the next villain in season 4 or 5. Hold up, I will explain it. But since you got here, comment down below who would be the great name of Twilight Sparkle in this alternative universe, okay? Well, imagine how would Twilight feel growing up knowing that she was never able to hatch the dragon egg, that she was never able to make true friends, and that she wasn't even listened by Sunset and her friends about Nightmare Moon. I must have felt horrible, and this would take her to a totally different pony, devoted to the dark side, even because, you know, idle hands are the evil's playground. And well, with Twilight being the same studious pony, she would have the knowledge of certain ancient old evil spells, which only the most powerful and brave would be able to master, like the Alicorn Amulet. In my understanding, this Twilight would be just like human Twilight from Friendship Games, but way darker. And yes, for me, she would turn into Midnight Sparkle, since she would allow the shadows to dominate her. Then Sunset and her friends, the new main 6, would figure a way to reformulate the pony, just like with Nightmare Moon, Chrysalis, and Discord. I believe that here, Sunset Shimmer wouldn't be so much of a jerk anymore, now having a peaceful and gentle personality that we all love. And what I mean by that Sunset wouldn't use magic to end Midnight Sparkle, which would be too strong, but she would also use words. Her sweetness to show Twilight that she was wrong that day when she tried to warn everyone that Nightmare Moon was coming, and would also show her the value of friendship. And then, who knows, Twilight become friends with Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Applejack, and Rarity too, little by little. As I said way back, the friendship that they have could be destined, you know? I don't think it kinda makes sense to me, don't you think? Tell me your opinion about it, okay? And well, this accomplishment of Sunset would be similar to the made by the original Twilight in the 3rd season, when she turned into an alicorn with Celestia's help, but then Sunset would be the one to become an alicorn, and finally winning the title of Princess Sunset Shimmer, the newest princess of friendship, now having Twilight Sparkle as her first pupil. And I also believe that, differently from Twilight, that didn't accept her new change as Princess of Friendship, Sunset Shimmer would proudly embrace that title, but she would remain humble among her close friends, the new main 6. Another thing that I think that she, Sunset, would do a lot better than Twilight would be earning the trust of Queen Chrysalis, avoiding that she remains an evil character forever, making the Queen never meet Eric and Cozy Glow. Another thing that Sunset would do a lot easier would be the redemption of Starlight, avoiding what she made, those things of going back in time, because as I said, Sunset is really great with words, and really humble too, and this would be one of her greatest attributes. And as Twilight would really become friends with the other ponies, I believe that Starlight in this universe would become the 7th element of harmony, just like what happened in Equestria Girls, with Sunset Shimmer almost becoming an element of forgiveness. But in my case of actually in this timeline, Starlight would become the element of forgiveness. And guys, how good would it be to see this? Sunset, big like the fan art that you guys see right now, turning into Sunset, the new ruler of Equestria. I wonder if the next pupil of Sunset Shimmer would also be someone like a son or a daughter of Sunset's main 7, or even Twilight's descendant, or one of her friends' ones. And this means that in today's G5, we would probably see Sunny being a fan of Sunset Shimmer and her friends, and not Twilight and the others. Like, this is a massive thing to think about. And who knows if G5 wouldn't be the scrap that we see today, right? Oh, and there's one more thing that I haven't mentioned before, how Equestria Girls would fit into this timeline. What I thought is that after Sunset become an alicorn, Celestia would let Sunset enter the crystal mirror, since now she was a humble pony, and would also know about friendship magic. Then I thought of Sunset finally being able to meet the human world and also defeat the Dazzlings. And as Sunset had a clear future as the new princess and ruler of Equestria, she wouldn't have to live in the human world, like in the original, but she could tutor human Twilight to be a better person, making more sense Twilight asking to transfer to Canterlot High, where she met new friends friends. I mean, come on, I nailed the script, didn't I? I deserve life after that, don't I? But now, I want to know about you guys. What do you think it would happen if Sunset had become the Princess of Friendship instead of Twilight? Do you think that Twilight could really become a villain after all? Leave it in the comments because I want to know, okay? Thanks a lot for watching this video till here, and hasta la vista.